Welcome back to another edition of the Daily Lift. And today we're going to talk about Jesus. Jesus, if you read your Bible, you will know that he is God. Jesus is not only the Son of God, but he was there with God when he created the universe. Jesus is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. Jesus is the I am. And knowing all of these things, it's hard not to marvel at the amazing things that Jesus has accomplished in this universe. And if all of that wasn't enough, he left his throne on high, humbled himself, became a servant to live as an example for us today. And then, if that wasn't enough, he sacrificed himself for us before we were even faithful to him. Such an amazing, marvelous thought. Do you know that Jesus has been said to marvel himself? God in the flesh marveling? Yes, in the New Testament, Jesus is said to have marveled only 2 times, though. And both times, it had to do with the faith of people. So first, Jesus marveled at the absence of faith where it should have been found. And in Mark chapter 6, verse 1, Jesus came to his own country, to Nazareth, and his disciples followed him. And when the Sabbath had come, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many hearing him were astonished, saying, "Where did this man get these things? And what wisdom is this which he has given to him? And that such mighty works are performed by his hands. Is this not the carpenter, the son of Mary, the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? And are not his sisters here with us?" So they were offended at him. But Jesus said to them, "A prophet is not without honor except in his own country, among his own relatives, and in his own house." Now, he could not do mighty works there, except that he had laid his hands on a few sick people and healed them. And he marveled, listen to this, he marveled because of their unbelief. Then he went about the villages teaching in a circuit. I want to notice a few things in this passage in Mark chapter 6, that they were astonished at his teachings. These people that heard him, no doubt they heard the rumors of the miracles. They even acknowledged that he performed great works with his hands. They knew him also as a youth, and being sinless as he was, I'm sure they saw something special about him. They knew his family also. Yet they refused to believe. Rather, they took offense. They were offended by him. And they even sought to kill him. And it's said that Jesus marveled at their unbelief. And Jesus marveled at their unbelief because they had all of the evidence necessary to believe. Yet they would not humble themselves. They refused to believe the facts. They refused to believe the evidence and gave him no honor. They were offended instead, that he was implying he's greater than me. Rather than hearing what Jesus actually said, that I am the I am, they said, "How can you say that you're better than me?" Second, we have Jesus marveling at great faith where it was less likely to be found. And in Matthew chapter 8, verse 5, we see that there was a centurion that had a sick servant. And the centurion came to him and pleaded with him, saying, "Lord, my servant is laying at home paralyzed, dreadfully tormented." And Jesus said to him, "I will come and heal him." And the centurion answered and said, "Lord, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof, but only speak a word, and my servant will be healed. For I am a man also under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes. And to my servant, do this, and he does it." And when Jesus heard it, listen to this, when Jesus heard it, he marveled. And he said to those who followed, "Assuredly, I say to you, I have not found such great faith, not even in Israel." We have here a Gentile, a Roman soldier, supposed to be enemies of the Jews. And this soldier here appears to have even surprised Jesus. In his understanding of military rankings and authority, he concluded that Jesus didn't even need to be present. He heard the rumors of his great works. He may have even saw them firsthand. And he was able to use his common sense rather than rejecting or demanding proof. He said, just say the word. The centurion understood three things that caused Jesus to marvel at his faith. So first off, he understood, and these are the ingredients to a marvelous faith. He understood humility. He said, I'm not even worthy for you to come under my roof. He understood authority. He said, I too am a man of authority. And I say to one, go, and he goes, and to another, come, and he comes. And he says to the servant, do this, and he does it. He understood these things, and the centurion acknowledges the power and the authority of Jesus, which is far more than most of the Jewish religious leaders did that day. And the third, he understands fidelity. He understands trust. He says, only say the word, and my servant will be healed. You see, the centurion believes Jesus can heal his suffering and near-death servant from even a distance with only a word. Now that is trust. So I want to ask you, will Jesus marvel at you? And if he will, how? First, there are some things that Jesus will not marvel at. He will not marvel at our great achievements in this world. He won't marvel at our bank accounts. And he will not marvel at our great collection of things that we have amassed over the years. But will he marvel at your great faith? Will you humble yourself before God and his anointed? Do you understand authority? Do you believe in his power? Do you believe in his promises? Do you prove your trust by the words that you speak and the deeds that you do? Do you speak and act accordingly? Or will he marvel at your unbelief, at your lack of faith? If this is your initial answer, Lord, increase my faith. Pray for that greater faith. Be obedient to him. Don't be caught off guard like those that he talks about in Matthew chapter 7 that said, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name? Have we not cast out demons in your name and done many great wonders in your name? What does he say to them? He says, I will declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who practice lawlessness. Jesus says, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. So if Jesus is marveling at you, how will it be? For your great faith or your unbelief? Go lift somebody up.